Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today's video is all about 10 books that I want to read in 2021. I was going to do a 21 to read in 2021, but I decided against that. I kind of thought that it would be nice to kind of showcase fewer books that I want to get to and just only be including ones that I've kind of had on my shelf unread for a while, rather than ones that I got recently or anything like that, because certainly there are plenty of books that I just recently got that y'all already know. If you watch a lot of my videos, you already know that I really want to get to them. So yeah, anyway, so these are just some books that I really want to get to in the coming year, and so this is me promising myself that I'm going to do that, and I don't know if I'll totally fail or not. I probably will totally fail, but that's okay. So firstly, we have Spindles End by Robin McKinley. This has been on my radar for a while. I've seen a few booktubers talk about it, especially Kelsey. But anyway, I actually just recently stumbled upon a Twitter thread where an author, I think it was Kay Ancrum actually, was saying, oh, there was that one book where where Sleeping Beauty was given a bunch of like really pretty features, but they never actually made her like said she was pretty, so she basically ends up being ugly with like pretty features like long eyelashes or whatever the heck. And everyone was kind of like, what book is that? And she was like, oh, let me see. Oh, it was Spindles End. And I just kind of went, whoa, I have that book and I haven't read it. But anyway, so I'm really excited to get to this book. Next, we have The Greatest Night by Elizabeth Chadwick. I have had this book on my shelf for at least a couple of years now. It was recommended to me by my friend Emily Hornberg, who used to have a booktube channel, but she no longer does videos, which makes me really sad, but she did publish a book, so you should totally check her out. But anyway, so this is by Elizabeth Chadwick, who writes some pretty fantastic historical fiction, and apparently this is like her best one, so I'm excited to get to it. Next, The Autumn Castle by Kim Wilkins. This is a very underhyped book that nobody talks about, but I stumbled upon it in a bookstore one day a couple of years ago. It is an urban fantasy about basically a girl whose best friend has disappeared and comes back and says she was in a whole nother world. So this chick goes to this other world too and sees that it's really cool and has like all kinds of stuff, and there's some bad guy who discovers that she's been going to this other world and thinks that like, oh, I can like wreak havoc there or whatever the heck. So anyway, the summary is pretty vague, but yeah, since I've been like super hungry for portal fantasies lately, I really want to get to this one soon. Next, we have Steadfast by Mercedes Lackey. This is a one of the books in her Elemental Masters series, which is basically a series full of fairy tale retellings that are featuring like people who are elemental mages. So like Cinderella, but she controls fire or whatever the heck it is. So this is a retelling of the Steadfast Tin Soldier, which I'm not even really sure what happens in that story, but anyway, so yeah, I've had this book. It's one of like two Mercedes Lackey books that I have on my shelf that I haven't read yet, which shame on me. I've read tons of her books and she's one of my favorite authors and I haven't read this, so like why haven't I read this? I don't know. Sailing to Sarantium by Guy Gavriel Kay. I actually have a ton of his books on my shelf, and I've only read one of them, and I don't know why I haven't read more of his books, but because I literally have like almost all of his books. I don't know why, but anyway, I really want to get to all the books of his that I have, but especially this one because I actually did start this book like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago actually, maybe even 4, I'm not even sure anymore, and I never read the rest because it was like right around the time when my second band kicked me out of the band and it made me sad, so I kind of stopped reading like most of what I was reading at that time, so I don't know, but anyway, I hope to get to this book soon. The Witches of Ilea Nun by Kate Forsyth. This is a book about witches and dragons and things, and I don't actually know what it's about, but it sounds really good. Inda by Sherwood Smith. I love Sherwood Smith's books. She is a great author, but unfortunately I have not read this one, and I have the whole quartet, so I need to read it. Moonheart by Charles DeLint. I actually got this at the Strand bookstore while I was in New York for Book Expo, which was a couple of years ago now, so yeah, I need to get to this book. I actually have 3 of his books on my shelf that I haven't gotten to, so shame on me. The Shadow of Blackbirds by Kat Winters. I need to read this book because I have read three or four of her books. I forget how many, and I have given 5 stars to each of them because her books are fantastic, and I do not give 5 stars lightly at all. So I really need to read the rest of her books, because if I've loved the crap out of like all of her books that I've read, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love the ones that I haven't read yet. So there's that. And last but not least, we have Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. This is a book that's a fantasy book with great characters and some thieves and stuff. I'm not even really sure what it's about, but I hear such good things about this book, so I'm really excited to read it. Yeah, so anyway, those are the books that I hope to read this year. Not all of them, of course, but like the, ones that I, wouldn't otherwise be setting some kind of specific goal to get to or anything, but that I really should get to because I'm excited to read them and I just haven't. So anyway, that is my top 10 to read in 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which of these books I should get to first if you've read any of them or have any thoughts, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!